Good morning. Can you hear me there at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Judge Ruppe. You're all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested. As you appear before me today, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with. That status will remain with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you are arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, you were given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pre-trial release which will be imposed upon you. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, I will appoint the Public Defender's Office for you this morning. You are also entitled to make a phone call to let friends, family, or your counsel know where you are. If you haven't had the opportunity to make that phone call, please let me know. I'll make sure you get that phone call today. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Solemnly swear affirm the testimony before the court with the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. All right. Put your hands down as I call your name. Please come forward to the podium. Jody Moulter. Ms. Moulter, can I have your date of birth?
12/27/76.
Okay. You are here today because you failed to appear in front of... I can't find it.
I believe Judge Hitzman, Your Honor.
9-5 with Hitzman, I believe.
Petty theft and a driving on suspended driver's license in front of Judge Hitzman.
Can I say something?
Well, hold on a second. State, can you tell me about her prior record?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, they vote that too.
Yes, I see that.
She has a petty theft disposition guilty in 2018, which is this, 2014 disposition guilty, fraud, illegal use of credit cards, a petty theft disposition guilty in 2014 out of Hernando, a disposition guilty for a new legend drug, as well as possession of controlled substance, and another charge of possession of controlled substance in 2013 out of Hernando County, a disposition guilty for obtained property with worthless check, 09, Hernando County, adjudicated guilty, bettering, bad check, 96, adjudication withheld in Hernando County, 96.
Okay. Is she on probation?
They're both POPs, Judge. We had set her an NTA
Okay.
for these charges. She had completed her court-ordered community service. She was working
Thank
community service
you.
in lieu of her court fines. But the clerk could not confirm that those were actually accurate, so they would not apply the community service hours to her court fines. And that was the only remaining condition, was the court fines.
What is the recommendation of probation?
I think we were wrong on one. We were thinking one was an M1, so we would, at this point, go to 30 days.
Okay.
She has credit for 3.
Okay. Ms. Moulter, if you want to take care of your case today, probation is recommending 30 days in jail. You have credit for 3 days. We'll go ahead and give you credit for the 3 days that you have in. Do you want to go ahead and take care of that today?
Can I say something now? Is that my probation officer, Mr. Story?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I completed my 6 months.
Okay. Ma'am, if you want to, hey, listen. We're not here for a hearing on your violation of probation today. What we're here for today is first appearance. So if you want to set a hearing, we can go ahead and do that. And you can say anything that you want to say at the hearing. Or you can take the offer for 30 days today. What would you like to do? Would you like me to appoint the public defender and set this case off?
Can I get a bond?
You're not going to get a bond, no.
I didn't have they sent the,
I answered your question. Do you want to take care of this case today or not? Okay.
On file.
Keep the bond at 0. We'll set the case for October 19th and appoint the public defender's office. Thank you. Shirley Hughes. Can I have your date of birth?
April 13th, 1992.
Okay. You're here today for a burglary of a dwelling, possession of a drug without a prescription, and a violation of probation. I found probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Did you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office in both of your cases. For the burglary and the possession of drug without a prescription, I'm going to keep the bonds the same at $10,000 and $1,000. We're going to see you back to court on October 26th at 8:30 in the morning in front of Judge Toner. For the violation of probation, it's going to be the same court date. I'll appoint the public defender's office. There's no bond on that, so we're going to keep that no bond until you go back in front of Judge Toner on October 26th, okay? All right. Wendy Land. Can I have your date of birth?
8770.
You're here today for a battery. The bond amount is currently $1,000. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a public defender's office on your current case?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's 2018 CF 937. The charge is fleeing or eluding. I'm showing the offense date is April of 2018. Okay, with regard to this battery charge, you're entitled to a bond on that. I'm going to keep the bond at $1,000. However, if there's probable cause to believe that you committed another crime while you were out on bond, so case number 2018 CF 937, I'm going to revoke your bond on that case, and you're going to be held without bond until you go back in front of Judge Toner. I believe your court date is set for October 8th, is that right?
October 8th.
18 CF 937? Is it October 8th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you're going to be held no bond on that case until you go back in front of Judge Toner on October 8th. With regard to this case, it's a misdemeanor, so it's going to be October 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? I'm going to order that you have no contact with Lonnie Dassinger while this case is pending, so don't have any contact with him whatsoever.
Thank you.
All right. Christine Opsell? Hi, ma'am. Can I have your date of birth?
5/29/89.
Okay, you were here today for a writ of bodily attachment out of Citrus County for failure to pay child support. It looks like the purge amount is $870. So we're going to keep the purge amount at $870. If you're unable to bond out for that, Citrus County will come get you within the next couple days, okay? If they don't come and get you within 5 days, then they'll bring you back in front of me and we'll figure out what the holdup is.
Okay.
Okay? Shonda Sargent. Hi, ma'am. Can I have your date of birth?
9/17/87.
You were here today for burglary, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and carrying a concealed weapon. The bond amounts are $10,000, $2,000, $1,000, and $500. I did find probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. State that she has a prior record.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm showing a battery in 2018 disposition guilty out of Hernando County, a disposition guilty for possession of drug without prescription 2018 out of Hernando County, a possession of paraphernalia, one count 2017 adjudication guilty, possession of controlled substance 17 disposition guilty out of Hernando County, a disposition guilty for possession of paraphernalia 16 adjudicated guilty marijuana possession, and 16 a possession of controlled substance without prescription disposition guilty in 2016.
Okay. She's on probation for the battery?
That's correct, Judge.
Right.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I don't have an address for you, Shonda. Where are you living these days?
I just like bounce around.
Okay. You have a job?
No, ma'am.
All right. All right, well, it looks like you have a violation of probation on a battery charge. So that's going to come down in the next couple days. You're going to be served with that warrant this week, and you're going to be held without bond on that violation of probation. I'm just letting you know that just in case you're able to bond out on these charges, you could be wasting your resources because you're going to be held on no bond eventually on the violation of probation, okay? But with regard to these charges, because of your prior record and your lack of a stable address. On the burglary, I'm going to set your bond at $20,000. On the possession of methamphetamine, it's $4,000. On the possession of paraphernalia, it's $2,000. And on the carrying a concealed weapon, it's going to be $1,000. We're going to see you back to court on October 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning. If you're unable to bond out, someone from the PD's office will come out and talk to you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Christina Titus? Can I have your date of birth?
7/27/86.
Okay. You are here today for a domestic battery. It's based on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt on September 20th.
Yes.
I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes.
I'll appoint the PD. State prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. Burglary of a structure, 2014. Disposition guilty for grand theft out of Hernando County in 2013. Larceny adjudication withheld in 2011. It was a petty theft out of Pasco County in 2010. Probation violation references in both 2009 and June and 26th and June 22nd of 2009. A probation violation reference.
Okay. Ma'am, I have an address for you on Pond Circle in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
For the time being, but I'm moving in the process.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
4 years.
Do you have a job?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Where do you plan on moving?
To my grandparents.
Which is where?
Behind the Heather and Cody's RV park.
Okay. So in Hernando County.
Wiki-Waki.
Okay. That's
In Wiki-Waki.
Thank you. All right. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $5,000 in this case, okay? And I'm going to order that you have no contact with John. What's his name? Is it the same last name? John Hernandez, okay? Don't have any contact with him whatsoever.
Okay.
Do not call him. Do not write him. Do not email him. Do not have anyone else call him, write him, or email him. If you have any contact with John while this case is pending, you'll be arrested on another charge and held without bond. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. If you bond out and you see him out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way. If he calls you should hang up the phone. So I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case John wants to file an injunction against you. If he does file that injunction against you, you want to read it very carefully. It'll be very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from him, his home, his work, his vehicle, or anywhere else where he may frequent, okay? We're going to see you back in court on this case on October 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right. Ariana Tyler?
October 19th.
Can I have your date of birth?
January 7th, 1994.
You were here today for a burglary of a dwelling and resisting an officer without violence. There's no bond on the burglary, and the bond on the resisting is $1,000. State, do you know why there's no bond on the burglary? It looks like she would be entitled to it.
I don't know if it's due to the fact that she's in PTI for criminal mischief right now. I don't know if that had anything to do with
There's
it.
no legal basis to hold her no bond for that.
Is there any way?
Stop talking. I didn't ask you a question. Stop talking. When I ask you a question, you can answer it.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than that, Your Honor, I don't see any
Well, her
other
prior
reason.
record, she's on PTI for something?
Yes, Your Honor, she's on PTI for criminal mischief. It's just 17 MM 3567. As well, if Your Honor, I do have other history for her if you'd like to hear. Disposition, adjudication, withheld, possession of paraphernalia in 2018, as well as another charge of paraphernalia, adjudication withheld in 2018, a DUI disposition guilty in 2018, and no other history, Your Honor.
She's on probation for the DUI?
No, Judge, we finished the PTI, so it's done.
Okay.
She completed the PTI.
Okay. And so the DUI? Okay. For the DUI from Hernando? Is that
No.
DUI is from, it says Florida Highway Patrol Troop C.
Okay.
So it looks like it might be Fort Lauderdale.
okay. All right, ma'am, I have an address for you on Milan Court in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
Just for a couple of months. I moved from Miami.
Okay, so you've only been in Hernando County for a couple months?
Like maybe 2 tops, not even.
Do you have any family here?
Yes, I'm living with my parents.
Okay. They're the ones that live on Milan Court?
Yes, ma'am. Is there any way that I
Ma'am?
can get a bond? Just
Ma'am, there's not one person in there today who doesn't want me to lower the bond or give them a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
I know what you want. I'm going to do what's right.
Okay.
Do you want the public defender's office to represent you?
Yeah.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. I don't see any legal basis for the no bond. I think she's entitled to a bond on this case. I think the scheduled bond is $5,000 for the burglary, so it's $5,000 on count 1, and we'll keep the second count at $1,000. We need to see you back to court on this case on October 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Jody, oh, I did that one. Sorry. Never mind. I'm just finding all these things now. All right. Logan Hardy. Mr. Hardy, can I have your date of birth?
5/11/1983.
You were here today for a domestic battery. I found probable cause for your arrest. Do you want the public defender's office?
Yes, please.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. State prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. A disposition guilty for burglary of a structure in 2012, as well as grand theft in 2012. Disposition guilty. A burglary, disposition guilty in 2012 charge as well, all out of Hernando County. Disposition guilty for defrauding a pawnbroker in 2012. Dealing in stolen property, disposition guilty, both out of Hernando County. Failure to appear out of Hernando County in 2011. Failure to appear out of Pasco in 2011. A probation violation reference in Hernando County in 2010.
Is there a DOC on the burglaries? Is there a registration?
Pardon me, Your Honor?
Do you see any DOC registration or anything like that on there?
Looks like there was a prison sentence.
Okay. Did you do prison on the burglaries? Mr.
I'm
Hardy?
sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Did you go to prison for the burglary charges? Don't get so close to the microphone, okay?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. When did you get out?
2013.
Okay.
2013. I went in 2012 and got out in 2013.
Okay. All right. I have an address for you in Harbinger Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
Going on a year now.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Landscaping.
Okay. Do you want me to appoint? I appointed the public defender for you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Did you want to be heard? Is that no? Okay. If you want to be heard, you have to come forward. I can't. Sorry. Where do I go? Can't hear you from way back there. Come on up. All right, I'm going to place you under oath, okay? Okay. Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear from testimony before the court with the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Put your hand down. State your name.
Melissa Harding.
Okay. And how do you know this guy?
He's my husband.
Okay. How long have you been married?
Since February.
Of this year?
Yes.
How long have you known him?
Almost 3 years.
3 years? Okay. Did you hear his prior record? Did you know
Yes.
about that?
Yes, I
You
knew
about
about
that. Okay. What would you like to say?
I mean, my big thing is the no contact order. Like, I want he's my husband. I mean, I love him. You know, he has things that he has to work through. He knows that, and I know we can get through this. But without the contact, you know.
Yeah. He's alleged to have, and admitted to, pushing you, grabbing your throat with both hands. Hey, I didn't ask you any questions, and you have the right to remain silent. I'm talking to your wife.
I'm sorry.
That combined with his prior record and a stint in the Department of Corrections, you can see how that would give me concern
I know. But
about your safety.
I know. But if I seriously was afraid of him, I would not be standing here today.
Well, ma'am, maybe that's part of the problem, though, because maybe you should be. And you have people here in this courtroom who really want to help you to keep you safe. Because if you don't see the danger in this situation, maybe that's part of the problem. Do you guys have children together?
No.
Okay.
I'm not asking for him to come back to the house. I'm just asking to be able to stop contact with him. That's all
Well,
I'm asking.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have an in-between. I'm not going to allow you to have physical contact. I'm not going to allow him to have physical contact with you until you've gone to some counseling and talked to someone about it. And the public defender's office or the state attorney's office can give you some information about what you need to do because they know what I'm looking for. I'm not going to allow physical contact. I'm going to allow telephone contact only. Okay? Telephone contact only until you get me what I need to make sure that you know you have a safety plan, that you know that you can be safe. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to allow at this point. You don't plan on filing an injunction against him then? And I am not allowing him back to the residence. If he is able to bond out, he needs to find someplace else to go. Okay? Okay. Did you hear that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Telephone contact only. Based on your prior record, though, the bond amount is going to be $10,000, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Especially since you have the 2 failure to appears. So I'm going to see you back to court on October 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're only to have telephone contact only.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right? Thank you. All right, thank you. All right, Gary Newman. Good morning, can I have your date of birth?
4885, ma'am.
You're here today for 1 count of armed burglary of conveyance and 12 counts of burglary of a conveyance. It looks like they were all vehicles that were burglared sometime in September. I found probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes.
Appoint the public defender's office. State, is there a prior record?
Yes, Your Honor. He has an open resisting officer without violence out in Pasco County. He also has a burglary of conveyance unarmed 2009 adjudicated guilty, a burglary in 2009 adjudicated guilty out of Pasco, another burglary charge in 2009 adjudicated guilty out of Pasco, a grand theft in 2009 of a motor vehicle adjudicated guilty out of Pasco County, a resisting officer without violence adjudicated guilty in 2009, a false ID given to Leo 2009 adjudicated guilty, a resisting officer without violence in 2009 adjudicated guilty, a disorderly conduct 2009 adjudicated guilty, and then he has a burglary of a conveyance, 2 charges in 2004 adjudicated guilty, a burglar conveyance unarmed 2004 adjudicated guilty, and in 2003, a trespassing, adjudicated guilty, and as well as some other, just multiple
Okay.
burglaries, Your Honor.
All right. When did you get out of prison?
August of 2017.
All right. I have an address here, Mercy Drive in Orlando. Is that where you live?
No, ma'am.
Where do you live?
Spring Hill, Florida.
Do you have an address, or are you just living outside?
No, 3309 Susan Drive, Spring Hill, Florida, 34606.
Who do you live there with?
It's my parents' house, ma'am.
That's your parents' house?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, he was also labeled a serious or habitual juvenile offender.
Yeah. All right. All right, on count number 1, I'm going to set the bond at $50,000. On counts 2 through 13, the scheduled bond is $5,000. I'm going to double it to $10,000 each. I've appointed the public defender. We'll see you back for October 16th at 8:30 in the morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Roy Wagoneer. Can I have your date of birth?
4/12/1982, ma'am.
You are here today for grand theft, driving on suspended driver's license, criminal mischief, possession of marijuana, possession of burglary tools, and possession of drug paraphernalia. The bond amounts are $5,000, $1,500, $1,000, $5,000, $1,000. I found probable cause for your arrest on each of these. Do you want the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll appoint the public defender's office. State?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm showing a disposition guilty in 2016 for child abuse, disposition guilty for battery in 2016, a unoccupied burglary, disposition guilty, as well as a dealing in stolen property, disposition guilty, both out of Pasco County. He is a multi-source offender as well. Out of New York, he has a 2001 criminal possession of stolen property and a petty theft that was convicted in 2002. 2002 criminal possession of stolen property convicted, as well as an aggravated unlicensed operation of motor vehicle, second degree in 2002, which there's no disposition for, Your Honor.
Okay. Sir, I have an address here on Suffolk Lane in Newport Richey. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am. 9041.
How long have you lived there?
5 years now.
Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Tree service.
All right. All right, count number 1, the grand theft, the bond's going to be $10,000. Count number 2, the driving on suspended driver's license, the bond's going to be $2,000. The criminal mischief is $1,000. The possession of marijuana is $2,000. Possession of burglary tools is going to be $10,000, and the possession of drug paraphernalia is going to be $2,000. We're going to see you back to court on October 16th at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? If you're unable to bond out, someone from the public defender's office will be out to see you soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Michael Thomas. Mr. Thomas, can I have your date of birth?
8/12/68.
You are here today for a failure to appear on a case in front of Judge Toner on January 2nd, 2018 for an introduction of possession of contraband into the detention facility. The bond amount on that is no bond. Do you want me to appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you?
Yes.
I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office, keep it no bond, see you back to court on October 26th at 8:30 in the morning. You're also here for a violation of probation. It is on a misdemeanor case that it looks like I placed you on probation. So there's no bond on that. We're going to keep that no bond, and we'll see you back to court on October 19th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Judge, I think that it would be okay if we resolved that the other ones should return from the PTI, so don't think we'll max that. On the violation of Rex 30, he has 4 days.
Do you want to resolve your case, your driving on suspended, was it driving on suspended? Yes. Driving on suspended, violation of probation today for 30 days jail?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that by admitting that you violated your probation, you're giving up your right to go to trial? Or have a
Yes.
hearing? You're giving up right to confront witnesses at that hearing, have your own witnesses testify at that hearing, and you're giving up right to have the state prove that you violated your probation?
Yes.
Okay. With regard to the violation of probation in 2017 CT 3197, do you admit that you violated?
Yes.
Accept your admission. I find this freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. Revoke and terminate your probation. Sentence you to 30 days in the Hernando County Jail. Give you credit for the, what did you say, 3?
4.
4 days that you have in. You'll have a $50 cost of prosecution fee assessed against you. And that should do it for that case. All right, did I get everyone at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.